If you are a teenager or young person, listen closely. God has big plans for the youth, and He gave you this instruction in 1 Timothy 4 and 12. He said, let no one look down on you because of your youth. But He said to be an example and set a pattern in how you talk and how you conduct yourself and how you love other people in your faith and in your purity. He goes on in that scripture to give you instructions on how to just personally develop yourself and your relationship with God so that not only you can be presented pure before Him when He comes, but you can also teach your peers and everybody who is looking at how you live and listening to the things that you say how to ensure their salvation. When He said not to let anybody look down on you, the KJV says despise. And I'm sure we can all relate to being underestimated, especially when it comes to the things of God, just because we're young. I know I can. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people wait until they get older thinking that they have time to develop a relationship with God when they're in their 20s or 30s, when really, however old you are, 14, 15, 16, 17, you should start now. I remember as far back as 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, being saved and having moments where I would think about God and think about what it meant to be saved. But even during that time, I remember very clearly when I would mess up, I would be in such condemnation and just think, okay, I lost my salvation. And that just became a rinse and recycle repeat for years of my life. But I also remember when I went away to college, things shifted for me because I started getting into every single thing that I shouldn't have been doing, things that I thought that I was missing out on. This led to years of my life being wasted and me being oppressed by Satan. I spent years in depression. I had a baby at 19 who is my best friend and the greatest gift of my life. But at 18 and 19, that's not what I should have been doing. And it made life a little bit more difficult for me than it should have been. The further I strayed from God, the more I lacked identity and direction in my life. I was always feeling and hearing God's call, but I just didn't know how to answer. And that led to a cycle of condemnation, which would lead to depression, which would lead to me trying to restart my relationship with God, but being pulled back into the things that Satan had a right to oppress me with because I had an open door in my life that I let him in through, which threw me off course with my relationship with God again, which led to condemnation, which led to depression. And I was in that cycle for probably 10 to 15 years of my life until God rescued me. I'm so thankful for my relationship and my walk with Him now, but my one regret is that I wasted my teenage years and I didn't say yes to Him then. You know, David was 17 years old when he slayed Goliath. Samuel was just 12 years old when God called him by name. So however old you are, if you start now, you can skip all the hard parts that I went through. As God has led me to start this ministry, I went through them, so you don't have to. If you say yes to God while you are young, you can eat the fruit of that for the rest of your life. Satan would love to tell you that you're losing out, you're missing out, but this world and everything in it is in direct opposition to God. And one day soon, He's going to do away with all of it. There is nothing that exists in this world that is going to last for eternity. So why not join the winning team while you're young? Trust me when I tell you, the devil is a liar, and to live for Jesus is so much gain. You won't be losing anything except your depression, anxiety, oppression, addiction, perversion, immorality, fornication, condemnation. You get the point, right? I want you to grab my book, Exposed: The Battle for the Soul of a Generation. This is really a great starting point in establishing your walk with God. If you are a new believer, or even if you've been saved for a while and just trying to get back on track, trying to navigate this generation, because this world is crazy. It ain't what it used to be. I am begging you, pick up this book. You can grab it on hard copy or ebook at www.nextgenministries.com. That is NEXGEN Ministries.com. Make sure you follow for more. Follow us on YouTube at For the Next Gen. Subscribe on my website. You'll get some emails from me. You can even grab the workbook while you're at it. Go through it with your friends. Go through it with your pastor. Go through it with your parents. And really lean into living bold for Christ as a young person. I'll see y'all in the next video.